map. Hero might be a great pick going to map 2, but to start things off, we have this TVT BByong with a very good record versus Terran 5-2.
How about that song, Wolf? How's the song?
Yeah, he's losing himself in something maybe.
It's Mom's Spaghetti's, Wolf, but it's okay. It's all right, mate. You haven't been in on it yet. He's 1-6 versus TY, which is something big to note. Another thing to note is we don't see BByong come out that often in Pro League against Terran in at least the last few months, or at least the last couple. Like the last player he played that was a Terran was Keen. That ain't saying too much these days, but beyond that, we just haven't seen much TVT from him.
TY bringing in the Uptown Funk, definitely a little bit more of an upbeat song than what we've seen from him in the last few matches. He's 1-3 versus Terran in Pro League, but it seems the KT coach has a lot of faith in him going to this matchup. And obviously, they also said they were expecting BByong with a 6-1 record versus BByong. There's no doubt that TY, who just recently had a top 4 finish in Star League, is looking pretty confident going into this.
Wouldn't be bad in that TVT. Wouldn't be bad even for TVZ if a Zerg had come out as well. But guys, it looks like we're about to get into game number 1 here between BByong and TY for the Silver Challenger match. We're going to go into Iron Fortress right now for game number 1. Down here in the bottom right in the red, the Terran player from CJ Entus, it is BByong. What is that, man?
That's exactly what I think of when I see him.
Yep.
And down or up here to the top right in blue for KT Rolster, it's TY.
It's an angry carrot. And that's a happy flower.
Wearing a dress.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you can still see the stem.
That's a see-through dress, Valdez. I like it on my flowers.
Yeah.
That's the way to be. Now,
that's what Moonglade likes.
Like my sunflowers naked.
Well, you know,
glad we have a good start to the cast.
You know what they say about
well.
Sunflowers, though? They
What's
always
that?
point towards the sun. Now, TY, his name is Taeyong, which refers to the sun.
Whoa.
And he's wearing that pin. You can see he's got the siege tank and the sun. Siege tank points towards the sun as well. So there's a little bit of symbolism, perhaps,
We're
going into this
deep
one.
here.
So actually,
Yeah.
GG girls are a lot more deeper than we give them credit for.
So what's the carrot about?
Well, that's
then the carrot that's actually dancing in a disco somewhere.
that
Okay,
might
so
be a little private, actually.
I can give you guys some insight on the carrot. So in Korean, there's a phrase called like 당연히, which means of course, or surely, if you will. And what she said on the sign was he's going to win, of course. But when you use 당근, that's the word for carrot, but it's like a shortened version of 당연히. So if you look at it this way, it's basically a play on, of course he's going to win. So they use the carrot emoticon that's quite popular on Kakao Talk at the same
That's
time.
a bit of a stretch. I mean, that's not the same word, but we'll give it to him. We'll say,
Well,
maybe.
we'll settle with that, I think. Let's not get controversial here.
We don't want to get too deep with the dancing carrots.
You don't.
So we have slightly faster gas for BByong going to this one. He's about 24 gas ahead as a result of this. And he's going to be dropping down that factory, of course, and a reactor. Skipping the Reaper is TY going into a Marine before, though. So a faster reactor here for BByong is going to give him, obviously, much faster reactor Hellions, perhaps just 2 extra Marines. And a Tech Lab goes down for TY, actually, very quickly, sticking to his siege tank ways. They might even try to drop an insanely fast Cloak Banshee Starport. Let's see if he takes the second gas already. And looks like we're going to see a very fast Cloak Banshee opening from TY. Great positions for it. He's going to scout this.
Yeah, I do liking this a lot. One thing to note, last time we did see TY's TVT, he did go for that bio tank play. He kind of stayed away from the mech. He was up against Gumiho that time, and he did fall down to him. And I think from BByong, we are going to see that mech style eventually, unless the map dictates otherwise.
He's going into Reactor Marines, which does often lend itself into a timing attack or a drop.
Yeah, definitely could be. I mean, slowly getting out these Hellions. Getting this SCV very, very important. TY was trying to hide that there for the very late scout to see exactly what was coming out of Byung, but he denies it here. Going to have to rely on his Hellions from here on out.
And in just about one more mule trip, he's going to have enough for gas, TY is, or rather for a cloak, with the gas he already have. He starts it super early. It's the fastest possible cloak you can get in this matchup because he even built the starport on the tech lab, and he's going to go into that Banshee right away. So he sacrifices a lot with this. And versus a drop, obviously, Byung isn't going to have a Viking out right away. Well, let's see if he can get damage on this. It's going to be about both players microing their harass while microing against it at the same time. It's a fun TVT sort of clash of openings.
It is one of my most fun moments in especially TVT, as you mentioned, just when there's two fights essentially going on at the same time and you really get to see the multitasking of both players. It's going to be interesting for Byung as well to see how many scans he saves. Is he going to be ready for this Cloak Banshee to come in?
Yeah, and it's about when that Cloak Banshee gets there as well. I mean, as you can see, that drop coming across the map could do a lot of damage before anything kind of is there to defend against it. We're going to see one Banshee come out, but is it going to intercept this drop, or is it going to go straight to the main?
Well, he might want to turn it around. Let's see. Okay, he decides, yep, turns it around. And Hellions coming up here as well. They are tight walled off. Oh, this Banshee is going to have to micro really well to defend this.
Yep. Can, of course, micro against the Marines quite well. They do not have stim.
There's the elevator into the main, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could do actually a lot of damage here. There's simply not enough units. If the Bio can get on top of that Banshee and shut it down now, a lot of SCVs are going to go down.
More Marines popping out. He's not using those Hellions to the fullest of their potential either, actually, on either the Marines or the SCVs, and this actually will eventually be repelled. I feel like this was very poorly controlled by Byung.
Yeah, this is a complete disaster.
He could have done way more with those two Hellions. He could have done so much more. He could have done anything instead of having, them shoot at just simply one Hellion the entire time.
Yeah, and now two Banshees are out, one heading towards the main of Byung. He's going to keep the harass going, but only two Marines left over. They're not going to find too much damage in this main base.
And the Viking is here as well. It's not at home. He needs another one, and it's not ready. He doesn't have a single turret. His eBay isn't ready. This counter Banshee should do a lot more damage than Byung's been able to accomplish.
Well, that thought, actually, that one Viking could actually do some work. If it's stayed around a little bit longer and dealt with that Banshee, maybe the drop could do something else.
Turret being built here. And the scan is getting close, maybe 5 more energy, but this Banshee is going to get a lot of kills here in the main before he gets any detection at all.
So much more damage than Byung could have ever even dreamed to accomplish with what we saw from his attack earlier. It's just way too much damage.
This is actually out of control. 10 SCVs for that, and a scan. That is ridiculous. Certainly turn things around in a big way.
I'm not sure why Byung did not use his Hellions to either target the Marines or target the SCVs. He just simply didn't control them at all.
Considering how bunched up those Marines were as well at the back of the mineral line, he could have really dealt with them very quickly and started working on the SCVs. And a lot of those SCVs are actually very damaged as well. So, yeah, big micro mistake there. Maybe he could make amends with this Hellion drop.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward position for him. I mean, you guys can look at the worker lead right now for TY, 31-18. The CC is not too far behind for TY as well. It's not even like Byung has that big of an advantage there either. So, as you said, Minglet, he's going to have to find some critical damage with these Hellions or just somehow try to defend for a long time.
Well, here we go. Drop heading towards that main base. A siege tank set up there and a lot of Marines in place, but still, if he chose to focus fire those SCVs, maybe he can find some damage.
Yeah, he's gonna have to swing around the north side here, just out of range of that siege tank. Already eats a huge shot. Ooh. Does find a good angle here eventually, though. 10 kills, that's quite a lot for 4 Hellions.
Remember, a lot of these guys were very low from the earlier drop coming in, so already 12 kills being taken down here by Byung.
3 of them getting out of there as well. So that's kind of really evens up the damage here. Byung coming back in a big way in terms of harassment.
Still a lead for TY, and he's going to do his own counter drop now. 3 Hellions in here, not all at full health either. But there's nothing here, and let's see how much damage. This should be a lot of damage. Byung is not even reacting with his SCVs. Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, look at that pull, the lineup.
Oh, one more shot can do a lot of damage here.
Trying to repair, but they're all bunching up. Couple more hits.
That could have been even worse, but 8 kills, and the Banshee still denying mining here despite the turret. Even just going to kill this drop mule.
So much money lost there.
So much money lost.
It's like such big trades, but TY certainly getting ahead because of it. It's constant harassment here.
This is like some old school Wings of Liberty, TBT, just constant harass with Banshees and drops. Like Close Spice, Air Spawns a Metalopolis almost type game.
Yeah, Yeah, bringing back those memories. Looks like TY posturing up for an attack here.
I think he feels like he's done enough damage.
Yeah, it seems that way. Going to eat that shot so his units don't have to. And there isn't too much to defend here. Nothing that's really going to stop tanks.
Yeah, that Widow Mine, the second Widow Mine certainly isn't even going to be that helpful at stopping the tanks. Let's see if he runs into that one too.
Oh.
He's trying to bait it with these Hellions, but he's just going to let the Medivac tank it and then go in. PDD's going to win the air battle, but he can't control the ground.
He's got 2 Ravens, in fact, just in case. He's going to use it for detection and the PDDs, but they've been cleaned up, and so many more tanks here for TY.
Oh, very smartly just landing those Vikings as well. Going to force the natural up. It's going to put Young in such a bad place.
Needs to be careful about getting into this range of the siege tank, though it's on the high ground.
Ooh. Good focus.
Raven here does get very ahead of himself, gets killed before that turret can get placed. And this is just, again, too good of a trade for TY over and over again.
Yeah, I think he's almost checkmated it. Once he gets these tanks up the ramp on top of these factories, if he can siege up and hold it, he's essentially won the game.
Yeah. Way too much of a commitment to Vikings and air for Byung, which isn't that helpful if you don't have anything to support them. He had very few tanks behind this.
Oh, here you go. Pulling the SCVs, going for one large just effort.
And a huge amount of SCVs going down. That's going to be it. GG, TY taking game number 1.
And that's a scary thing, man. TY, you know, he can deal with any sort of Protoss as well. He's got fantastic TVP and TVZ. And I feel like those are the ones he's gonna run into next.